Hey guys, how's it going? Hopefully good. Today we are back in Minecraft, and the first of the 1.12 snapshots have arrived. They dropped the other day, contain cool little features like terracotta blocks and concrete blocks. Those are pretty neat. But the one I find the most interesting and useful is, of course, the customizable hotbar presets. If you haven't heard of this, I'll show you what it is, how it works, but I actually want to give you some tips and pointers on how to use this new feature to really help you out. Okay, so let's first take a look at the feature itself. Now, if you open up your creative inventory, you'll see there's a brand new tab called Saved Toolbars or Saved Hotbars. Click on that and you'll see we got some pieces of paper. So basically, you can save up to 9 different hotbar slots, and it's actually really easy to do, to add to it. All you have to do is get some items. For example, let's say we want a redstone hotbar. Get some redstone related items like so. And all you have to do is exit your inventory and hold Control and either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So that number corresponds to the hotbar slot that you're saving into. So let's say you want to save that into hotbar slot 5. You hold Control and press 5, and that will put it in hotbar slot 5. So if you go into your inventory again, go back to Save Toolbars, you'll see that hotbar slot 5 now corresponds to our current hotbar. You can do this with multiple different presets, obviously, if you've got 9 different slots. Let's say you want a nature slot with a couple nature items in it, like so. Then you can do the same, hold Control and a different number, for example 8, go back to your saved toolbars and you see that number 8 is now our current toolbar. If you actually want to summon, or you want to call upon that hotbar, all you have to do is hold Shift and press the corresponding number. So 5 for the redstone and 8 for the nature, and you can do this up to 9 times. Pretty simple feature, pretty easy to use, but very handy. So now I'm going to show you some tips on how to really put this to good use. Now, the really cool thing about this is that these custom presets are actually saved to your player's profile rather than the world, which means that these actually work across multiple worlds regardless of whether you created these hotbars in them or not. So we could just log out of this world right here, like so, and go into a different world if we wanted to. And basically, you can just access these regardless. So if I go into my inventory, you can see that we still have these available to us, and we can just switch them if we want to. So we just hold Control 1 like that. Then you can see these just pop up as if we had created them here. And this is really handy. One of the most annoying things to do when you start a new creative world is having to change all the game rules. For example, should there be a daylight cycle? Should it be raining? Should mobs spawn? Should tiles drop? Kind of frustrating to do because it takes a couple minutes. But now that we have these presets, you can just summon an item which will help you immensely. For example, right here we have the Magic Book by Mr. The Web Page. So basically this book is kind of like just a shortcut to a couple useful game rules and commands. For example, we can just give ourselves something like a barrier, a command block, a dragon egg if we wanted it. You can change the time of day to night if you want to. You can change the daylight cycle if you want stuff to stop moving. Very handy stuff because this really speeds things up when you start a new world. Really cool. Another handy application is sometimes you have some special items which are a little bit hard to get a hold of. For example, custom player heads or banners. You have to use like summon commands to get them in your world. But now you can of course just save these conveniently in one of these custom presets. So if you like using hamburgers or Pepsi cans or even chocolate, you can just save these guys into their own custom slots, for example 7, and you can just access these whenever you like, which is really quite handy. Now, technically speaking, there are only 9 available slots for you to save hotbars in, which is good, but it might seem a little bit restrictive if you have a lot of special items that you want to use and store. The good news is there's a sneaky little workaround to bypass this restriction. It of course uses shulker boxes, but wait, there's an extra little step that's even sneakier. So of course, this does work with shulker boxes, so you can store basically 27 times more things, because shulker boxes can contain 27 items, 27 times bigger, which is great. But you can go a step further. So what you can actually do is, whilst you can't store shulker boxes inside other shulker boxes, you can store them inside other containers if you're in creative mode. So you just place down a chest like that. You can actually put these guys inside the chest like that. And what you can actually do is you can actually hold Control and pick block whilst looking at your chest, and it will actually save that chest in your inventory with all the NBT data. So this chest right here contains the shulker box, which contains the items. So 27 times 27. And you can actually do this recurringly. It might lag out your game eventually, but you can store basically unlimited items in a single block, which is really good. So obviously we can just save this to our hotbar slot number 6 there, and you can see that it will appear in hotbar slot number 6. So very handy. So going along this same train of thought, this is actually really, really handy if you want to migrate command blocks to different worlds. For example, you could just go up to command blocks and just pick block them like so. So instead of having to like copy and paste them and keep going back and forth through different worlds, all you have to do is you have to just put them inside a chest like so. And you can just do the same method that I showed you. We can just pick block that guy, save it on your one of your hotbars like so, and you can just exit the world and go into a different world, which is yeah, that's really cool. I really like that. But anyway, guys, that is the new feature and some tips and tricks you may not have thought of. I think it's going to be very, very helpful going forward. But anyway, guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, a like is, of course, always much appreciated. Subscribe if you're not already. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.